Hey guys, it's your girl Nick. I am delighted once again to welcome you to another edition of Bo Knows Business, our podcast where we focus on the nation's top 1% small business owners who happen to be Black women. And they are here to share their stories about how do you become an entrepreneur? Not only how do you become one, how do you stay one and scale your business to the next level? And today is no exception. You guys are going to be able to meet one of our newest Bow sisters, Miss Ebony Wilkins. Woohoo!
Yes,
Welcome,
yes.
Ebony. How are you?
I am amazing.
Yes,
How are
you are,
you?
girl. Yes, you are amazing. So listen, I as I shared with you the last few hours, I have been able to really hear stories of brilliance and admiration for our new Bow sisters, your peers. I want to just welcome you and ask you, tell us a little bit about your business, just your elevator pitch. We're going to get to how, what you do and all that good stuff, but just tell us a little bit about your business.
Yes, yes. So excited to be here. And I'm sure that you were just overwhelmed with all the greatness that my fellow bowl members have to offer. I am just so excited. Oh, that's my little coworkers, and
You keep it,
that's
girl.
part of
You
business.
do, don't you? This is what we do. And people we all know, girl, grace, grace, grace. You keep going.
Yes, yes, and thank you for that. Yes, so my business is Alice Management Consulting, and we've been around for about 7 years. We provide program management, logistics, FM support, and acquisition support. And currently, we're servicing about 7 customers. This is our year 6, so I'm super excited to see what this year has for me, because we have put out a lot of seeds. We planted seeds over and over again, and this year is going to be explosive.
I know that's right. I come into agreement with you, sisters. So listen, our audience is so wonderful. They have followed our journey of our organization. They love hearing your stories. So tell us. Let's start at the chapter 1. All right, your beginning. We always like to know the journey that we have been on as entrepreneurs, as Black women. What was the first, chapter of your life like? Where were you born and raised? How many siblings did you have? What was little Ebony like?
Oh my gosh. So I was born in Lima, Ohio, which is primarily a manufacturing city. We built tanks, and we have Ford there, and we have Honda, and that's kind of what you're groomed to go into, either manufacturing or healthcare. So growing up, I am the oldest of a little brother and a little sister. I grew up with a single parent. My
Mhm.
mother, she took very well care of us.
Mhm.
However, we were still subject to Section 8 and food stamps and all of those different things. So we
Mhm.
had our challenges, and but it so totally paved the way for me and where I was to go.
Yes.
During that time, I did not have a relationship with my father,
Mhm.
but I excelled in school. I pretty much had straight A's. I even excelled to the point that in some of my classes in the high school, they said, "Well, don't even worry about coming. You're going to go ahead and take the college courses." So I went to high school and college at the same time and
Wow.
got internships. So people don't believe this when I say, because I believe that I was always a go-getter or an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. There was a point in time where I went to high school and college, and I held 3 part-time jobs.
What?
Yes,
Girl.
yes. Yes,
Amazing.
and it
Amazing.
was stressful. It took a lot
No,
out of me, but I had goals in mind, and I really wanted to help my family, and that's kind of the premise of where I continue to stand today. Is my entire goal is to uplift my family.
when I tell you what I know, girl, when I tell you what I know, this, this, I feel like I need to get a PhD in like Black women entrepreneurship because the
Yes,
stories of just today alone, the oldest of siblings, a desire for excellence, ambition, having a lot of responsibility, the desire to to help your family out. That is consistent. The pearl necklace of bow that we are
yes,
stringing together, all of these pearls have such similar texture and are just so beautiful. So I want to pull you from that so we know that you were extraordinary from a very young age. Tell me about your career entrepreneurship connections. So what was your career foundation, and how did you make the big pivot to where you said I could do this?
oh, most definitely. So when I was 17, I was a little bit younger when I graduated. I had a late birthday, I should say. I told my mom, I said, I'm getting out of here, sign my papers, I'm going to the armies, and I'm out. Like, I don't want to be here.
Right.
So I left, joined the army, and that's where I learned a lot of my leadership skills, leadership traits
Mhm.
that really helped shaped me. I stayed active duty in the army for about 10 years. My last assignment was in Arlington, Virginia, at Fort Myer, and I met my then boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
He was not inclined to become a military spouse, so I had
Mhm.
a decision to make, and plus I was ready to kind of get out. But
Mhm.
I keep using him as my excuse. Uh, so I got out and I stayed here, and plus I was ready to have a family. And traveling so much with the military
Yeah,
didn't afford me that opportunity.
right.
Once I got out, I was able to get a job as a financial management contractor. And as I sat back and really and took on different jobs with different companies and opportunities over the next 7 or 8 years or so, I sat back and looked at the entire structure of government contracting. And I just thought to myself, I could do this. I've been with good
You did
companies.
this?
I've been with bad companies. I
Yes.
could so do this.
Yes. Yes, I love it. And that's the other commonality. If I I feel myself like putting together a thesis of a doctoral something, girl. But that's another characteristic in terms of the success rates of business owners who worked in a large section. And now my audience is going to say, I know, Nicole, I know, but you worked in a large space, you mastered that space, and then you made that space your first client. So a lot of people went back and said, okay, I got my training wheels, how can I pivot back and do what they're doing outside that space?
Oh, most definitely. I think what was pivotal in me understanding that I could do this, first understanding and seeing what other companies were doing, and
Yeah.
secondly, being in a room with the stakeholders. So
Yes.
being in financial management, I was in the room with the government who were making the decisions and seeing how they go about the decision, and what their steps were and what their thought process was.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that really kind of gives me a leg up in understanding what the government is looking for, and in all aspects. So that was very pivotal for me. And additionally, I took the time, I did the work. I went to WBC and
Mhm.
all of these different places that offered services to kind of train you up into this new market that helped me propel and be ready.
That's amazing. So, and I think that's another thing that I'm hearing, just the constant thirst for knowledge, for even whether you are working for someone else or working for yourself, that constant education piece. Is that true for you?
Oh my gosh. Nick, I am a lifelong learner. So I have my master's degree and a master's degree in acquisition and supply chain management and my bachelor's in finance. I have
Hmm.
certifications out the YU, but again, it was always the constant need to just keep going, keep going, keep learning. And that's again what helped propel me to be ready.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. So we hear your little CEO that was in the background. You said your
My coworker.
employees or your bosses, we don't know on any given day.
Yes.
Are the inmates running the asylum, right? But so the balance, entrepreneurship is obviously could be all consuming. What are some strategies that you have seen that you try to work with by I don't want to ever I don't say balance your life, because are we ever really totally balanced? Some days are good, some days are crap, right? But with your personal life and your business, what are some things that you do to kind of maintain your own sanity and get everything done?
Well, we have so my husband and I, we have two boys, ages 3 and 8, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Age 3, that's a year of that's pandemic baby,
Yes,
in
yes.
which yes, and unfortunately, the birth of him really changed the direction of my business. It
Okay.
put a lot of strain on my business. It was hard. It was difficult. We lost revenue. We almost was taken out of
Mhm,
the game because you
mhm.
had the pandemic and I
Yeah,
had birth and I
yeah.
could not meet people, and it was a lot. I suffered like a lot of women a major postpartum depression, and I think that it
Mhm.
was heavier because my
Yes,
other baby
everything.
was suffering, my business
Yes,
was suffering.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so now I really focus on self-care, taking that time back and just trying to pamper myself, even if it's just once a month, going
Yeah,
to go get a little massage or just taking a little walk, because it's important. And if I'm not here,
yeah.
then it doesn't matter what I'm doing this for. It doesn't matter at all.
And I'm touched by what you said, and thank you for sharing that, because you really are in a position to help other women that do feel a tremendous amount of guilt when certain things aren't perfect in their personal life or in their business. The guilt, I always say the guilt is the tool of the enemy, child,
Oh
because
man.
you're never the enemy is never satisfied, never
Mhm.
satisfied. You're never good enough. But I was talking with a girlfriend who is going through a serious health challenge, and the guilt that she's feeling while she's working and not being able to perform, for her kids, perform some of their duties. And I was like, girl, if you something happens to you, they're going to figure it out anyway. So why not make them you set these boundaries
Yep.
so that you can restore yourself. We
So
give
important.
from such a empty cup. I say when we're younger. Now I am 51. My kids, girl, I have a 25-year-old and a 15. He's actually going to be 16 next month.
Yes.
My reoccurring dream is him graduating, and I have a suitcase in my hand. Like I mean, it is literally a reoccurring thing. So I'm a little further out, but I will tell you that I've learned so many things about parenting and the guilt, and you have got, when you put yourself first, the mask, in the plane going down, that whole analogy is so true, because they are going to be okay. They are going to be okay whether you stress over it or you don't stress. So set yourself up so they can model a healthy, full person instead of a depleted, exhausted, person trying to do the superwoman thing. It does not exist. She does not exist.
She does
She
not.
does. She does not.
She
Right?
does not. And I think over the past year or so, I've really been embodying that. I mean, I came to the conclusion that I cannot do everything. So I totally outsource. I'm
Yes.
outsourcing cleaning the house. I'm
Yes.
outsourcing whatever I can.
Yes.
And again, here comes
Absolutely. And you surrender here. Listen, girl, we all get it. This is a total safe space. All right. It's a total safe space. And that is probably the greatest transition of all to the Bow Collective, what we are trying to do with the collective. So we will circle back, but tell me, as a new member, what your hopes are for this personally and for the community.
One of the things that I found when I went through the interview process, and I talked to Tiki, and she said, well, what would be a disclaimer or an area where you would think, hey, if this is not occurring, that I would not want to be a part of the team. And I said, if I found out or got into the Boat Collective and it was not really a sisterhood, that would be kind of a turnoff for me, because sometimes, and it's still that stigma that it's hard for women to work together. But I will tell you, when we went to Charleston, it was just like,
Right.
it was Black girl magic on steroids. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what I need. This is what I need. So
Yes.
I am excited of the partnerships. I've talked to other members about going after government contracts. So the ball is rolling. So we are ready, and I am just excited for what's to come.
Well, I'm so happy. I feel like a broken record, but we need this good energy. This is essential. What you said is my value system. Is my personal value system, that we will not be divisive. We will maintain civility and good nature above all things. We will like, know, and trust each other. We may not agree all the time, but we know that there's a spectrum of ways where you can disagree. There are ways you can do it with respect, and you can do things with disrespect. And me, again, because I have had my own health challenges, because I have gone through life, I get to pick. I get to pick where I place my energy. I get to pick where I place my time, and I get to pick the people that I want to be around. And I know how important leadership is. And so I say that to you and to the people that are wondering about the boat, that we will be civil, we will be gracious, and we will be all things magical in order to grow. That's this space. That's what we're doing. I can't tell you what they're doing over there, and I can't tell you what's going on over there, but I will tell you, this is my charge. We will knock this out, and we will have fun. We will have fun doing this thing, girl. We will. So
I love it.
I'm glad you are experiencing it, because that means that that people are listening to me. That we are going to have fun.
We hear you, we love you. I mean, the entire collective just adores you, and I'm so thankful for even this opportunity to be a part of something much greater. This has just been an amazing journey so far, and I just know there's so much more to come. So this is just amazing.
Oh, we gonna kill the game, girl. We are killing the game. So before we go, tell us a little bit about your business. I'm gonna give you the last word on your business. And I'm a storyteller by nature. Tell us about your business, but tell us through a story of a client that really resonated with you, how you were able to come in and help your client.
Yes. So I have a client that in the DoD sector, in which sometimes the DoD could be behind the game,
Yeah.
and they were really submitting their president's budget. It was a manual disaster, like just errors galore, just fat fingering, just everywhere. And I was able to come in and really look at the overall process and figure out innovative ways to add on to their existing system, saving them over 400 hours of manual labor during their submission. And for that, they just love us, they love me, and they continue to call. And it's just been an amazing journey.
I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. How can our audience stay in touch with you? Because I know that you're about to go have a meeting with that little CEO. Make sure she's all right. He or she is, you said 2 boys, so he is all right.
2 boys, they are waiting patiently.
I know that's right.
To say that lightly. So yes. So definitely you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Ebony Wilkins. Our handle on both LinkedIn and Facebook is Alice Management Consulting, and we are a force to be reckoned with. Like, we are very vocal on social media, as we would love to connect.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much. We're delighted and so excited to work with you to spread the Bow Collective around the world. All right. Oh, I love it. Oh, thank you, Miss Ebony. I know that everyone that is listening knows that coming out of COVID, coming back into the workplace, the balance of trying to keep our personal and our professional all in alignment, we all struggle. But I think that's one of the best things that that did come out of COVID, is that we have understanding, compassion, grace, some things, because we know that it could definitely happen to us, happen to our business. She was so transparent about the balance. Trying to find that balance is a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful. And I want to thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting this podcast. We just love hearing these amazing stories. I hope you are as inspired as I am with every sister that I get to share this space with. I'm so grateful. Tune in next week as we meet another amazing Bow sister. Take care.